This video is about embargoes. And as you can see, I'm standing up, so clearly it means quite a bit to me. You know, video game embargoes on YouTube are distorted, convoluted, and frankly have screwed up the community quite a bit. And before I get into that, I'm going to backtrack a teensy bit and just give you a baseline explanation of video game embargoes, in case you don't know. These are hard and steadfast dates set by developers and publishers in order to limit the leakage, the reveal, the release, the conveyance of certain information, assets, opinions on a specific game. You know, maybe a developer, publisher, PR firm doesn't want people talking about level 3. They don't want people bashing or praising a game before a certain day. And for the most part, people and publications follow these embargoes. They have good reason to. They don't want to lose their access to preferential coverage. They don't want to lose their access to preview events. They don't want to lose their access to review copies, and they definitely don't want a black mark on their site or magazine. Of course, you'll have a few foreign sites that go crazy and go bananas and post this information way early, and that's where you get your leaks from. But the reputable sites, the good ones, they don't. They want to maintain integrity with both their readers and with the video game community. On YouTube, that doesn't really apply. You know, back when I started doing walkthroughs in 2011, I'd consider that sort of the toddler phase of the walkthrough space on YouTube. And we all rushed out at midnight, we got the game, we ran home, we played it as fast as we could while still maintaining quality, and got our walkthroughs up as quickly as we could, and all was fair and good. And one of the main reasons for that is because we were terrified of the satanic copyright strike. Everyone was so fearful that these companies would say, hey, you posted early, strike. Now, if you don't know, a copyright strike is the worst enemy of a YouTube partner because 3 of them effectively shuts down your channel. No access, no ability to post, nada. And it's terrifying. It feels like your heart was ripped out of your chest. I dealt with quite a few false and fake copyright strikes in 2011, all of them taken care of and removed. But when it was happening, it felt like my baby was stolen. It was terrifying, scary, horrible, nauseating, and all that was on my mind. Because you have no control. You're at the whim of YouTube and these companies and what they decide to do. And over time, less and less strikes were filed. And, you know, probably some of it has to do with YouTube gaining more acceptance from the gaming community. But most of it is that the walkthrough space now is so large, there are so many people doing walkthroughs, it is impossible to police. When you have 20 people posting early walkthroughs, how are you possibly going to have the time and effort and blah, blah, blah to go through and strike all of them? Very few companies will do that. Most people will let it go. So instead what's happened is we've tried to take the review embargoes from websites and magazines and stretch them to somehow awkwardly fit the YouTube space, but they don't. They don't fit because a review embargo that says, hey, it's okay for you to share your opinion about a game is not the same as, hey, in video form, showcase the entirety of the game. If I'm a developer, there's a very different feeling between someone going out and saying, hey, this is good about your game, this is not, and come and watch the entire game before it comes out. It's frustrating, it's nauseating, it's infuriating. And there really is no set rule on this. You know, people say they get permission. For the most part, they're getting permission from either networks or people that don't really have the authority to make said decision. And of course, some of the networks are in communication with developers, and that's fine. In those instances, great. But they'll pick on people on Twitter and ask these community managers, is it okay if I post these videos? And those people want to be nice. They'll say yes. It's like if you went to your high school or college and asked the janitor if it's okay to turn in your essay late. He's affiliated with the school. So we have people posting way early. We have people finishing the game before it comes out. And everybody gets upset. Trust me, this is a major issue and has been for years on Twitter and private emails, on Skype conversations within networks everywhere. And nobody wants to come out and just say, hey, let's do this the reputable way with integrity and not post till launch. Because there is that infinite temptation to post early. Because you know that the walkthrough space has devolved into whoever gets it up first and gets on the top of that search page wins. I'm not here to accuse anybody, but there are ways to download games. There are ways to get them illicitly. And, you know, for all I know, everybody has a legal copy of the game. Fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what it encourages is a style of rushing, a style of just quantity and being first over quality or professionalism. And it also, again, it draws your mind to wonder, like, what? Should I just download the games and put them up first? That seems to be working. This is all simply fixed. All the publishers have to do is come to the networks, come to the YouTube partners and say, look, we don't want our games being shown before launch date. Simple. Simple as that. 12:01 a.m. Eastern, Pacific, you pick the time, whatever. But no gameplay on YouTube before launch. Because what's also happened is now the demos And the dev diaries and the previews and the trailers, everything is up on YouTube. There's thousands of videos from everyone before the game comes out. And, you know, I'm guilty of some of that. I post trailers sometimes. I post demos sometimes. I didn't want to. I fought against this for nearly a year, saying those things should not be labeled gameplay or walkthrough. I fought and I fought and I fought and I fought. And nobody wanted to budge. Nobody. And instead now we have a place where the space is so crowded. People are posting early like crazy. Tomb Raider comes out. This is what has sparked this whole conversation. And it's 8 days before the game comes out, and there's 15 walkthroughs up. I just don't see how that's fair to the community, nor how that's fair to the game. But nobody is in a position to really give authority on who can post or not, except the developers. This isn't like, it's not like Ken Levine comes down and says, hey, commentators, you may post Bioshock Infinite on said date at said time. This is information all being relayed from different places, or people are just coming upon it or finding it or making their best guess. There really is never a steadfast answer. And the occasional strike does get thrown around, and some people get screwed. For the most part, no. They don't. And there is even a difference between breaking embargo and then having the review embargo be the same. I think that both are wrong. One, I don't think people should break embargo. Two, I don't think the review embargo should apply to YouTube at all. It's not the same thing. Again, writing a review and showing some screenshots of Dead Space 3 is completely different than showcasing the first 5 hours of Dead Space 3 before it comes out. Free market, free world, free speech. I think we should have to follow a specific deadline of launch day. I think that's only fair to everyone involved and to the games themselves. I want to know your thoughts. This is something that has aggravated me for a very long time. It upsets tons of people and causes a schism in the YouTube community because there is no level playing field. And again, there's always that thought of like, how did these people get these games so freaking early? And again, I have no reason to believe that they didn't do it honestly. But it's really, really, really annoying. And I just wish it could go back to when we'd go out and get the game at the stores and come back and all play it. And just, man, there was so much more of a community feel, so much more of a fun thing, a big deal. Launch them games at midnight on launch. It even goes to the other side when they're like, the review embargo is at noon on launch day. It shouldn't apply. If everyone can buy the game, then we should be able to show it. So it goes both sides. It's early, it's late, but no, it should just be right on launch. When launch happens, that's when YouTube should start up with a game. Fine, do demos, fine, do previews. I'm not even going to fight against that anymore. But walkthroughs should begin when the game launches. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, guys and girls, drink so much chocolate. We'll see you all